Welcome and thanks for joining me right here on the channel. The solution is you. I really do appreciate you for stopping by. If you enjoy the content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Let me go ahead and get into today's subject. Now, the topic of today, 7 signs that you missed your exit. But before I get into today's topic, I just want to make sure that everyone's doing well. I hope that you and your family are getting along. My whole channel is built on positivity and being able to provide solutions to issues that we encounter every day. And I'm an advocate for men, so I believe that men should be the leaders that they should, and that we should set examples in our households as well as out in public, and that we strive to be the best that we can each day. And that's all that can be asked of us. So I hope that you are enjoying yourselves and that you are being stress free, and make sure that you are balancing life with fun as well as, handling business. Now, speaking of fun, men, have you ever been in a situation where you're at the house and it's football Sunday and you are ready to watch the most anticipated game of the season, and right before the kickoff, your woman has went to the store to buy all of the things that she needs to make lunch, and she has a long list. So this is a list that she's thought out prior to going to the store. And so she's at the store, she's got everything together, and you are basically preparing to watch the game because this is the most anticipated game of the season, which means you have everything ready to go. You ready to rock. So you have the television set to the station, you have maybe taken you a shower, uh, and you are in place. Maybe you got your beer or whatever you got, and you're just waiting on your woman to get back from the store so you can be ready for kickoff. So it's about 20 minutes before kickoff. Your woman has come back home from the grocery store, and she's in the kitchen while you're in the room looking at the pregame show. And so she's in the kitchen unpacking all of the groceries. And now it's about 10 minutes before kickoff. So you're all ready to go, and you're ready to see the beginning of when the ball is kicked off, to see how things are about to jump off. And your woman comes in the room and lets you know that there was a few items that she forgot at the store that's needed to get lunch going, and that she needs you to go up to the store while she prepares the rest of the food to get the items that she forgot. How many times has this happened to you? You're ready to watch the most anticipated game of the season, and your woman goes up to the store. She's right at the store to get everything that she needs, comes back home, and still leaves a few of the items that are needed. Now you have to stop what you're doing, try to run up to the store, and try to get back in time to make sure you haven't missed anything. Now, I tell you, this seems to happen so often. It seems to always sync up with kickoff time, that I think is done purposely. Now, as I mentioned earlier, my channel is about providing solutions to obstacles that we all encounter daily. Now, when it comes to relationships, which we all are involved in at some point in our lives, it may be a personal relationship, a business relationship. Communication is very important. Who we deal with on a daily basis is very important. It sets the stage for a lot of other things to come, and we are judged by how we carry ourselves. So the who we associate with and how we conduct ourselves in public has a lot to do with our image. So when it comes to relationships, unfortunately, many of us have to deal with a lot of dysfunction. So I find that it is necessary to place importance or focus on those of us that are dealing with dysfunction. And so that's where today's topic comes in: 7 signs that you missed your exit. So, when talking about romantic relationships, how many of you like road trips? I like a road trip. I prefer to travel by car and not necessarily by plane. When I'm in a car, I can pretty much stop when I want. And it's nothing like taking a road trip when you have someone with you, like your significant other. When you're rolling with your significant other and you're headed out of town, you two can enjoy laughs and conversation, and you can maybe switch up driving, so when you get tired, maybe your significant other can take over. So this is one of the benefits of having a significant other. It's when you're driving out of town, or you're going long distance in a car, that you have someone who is keeping you company, and this is someone that you enjoy and you appreciate having them by your side while you are going the distance. So when you're driving out of town by car and you are driving at night, and let's say you're in the country area of town, and when you're driving down the freeway, you know what it's like when you feel like you've missed your exit, regardless of if you're alone or not, especially when you are alone driving and it's nighttime, and don't let it be raining and storming, and you are in the countryside of town where the next exit isn't until the next 20 miles. And so if you miss your exit, you don't want to have to get off and try to maneuver your way back on track, which could push you further out because you may be in an unfamiliar territory. So the last thing you want to do is miss your exit. But when you do miss your exit, or you feel like you've missed your exit, there's a deep pit in your stomach that makes you feel very uncomfortable, like a little sickness that comes over you when you felt like you're in an unfamiliar part of town and you've missed your exit. So that's how it is in relationships. In relationships, you can meet the honey that you're interested in, and everything is popping off in the beginning, and everything is being presented to you the way it should be in the first few weeks. But then at some point, there are little cues or little hints that things are starting to go wrong. So I want you to go ahead and block off at least about a good 20 minutes, because I'm taking my time on this one today. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the 7 signs that you missed your exit. So let me start with number 7, thirst quencher. So you may be a man who has met a woman who is a nice, decent looking woman. This is one that really doesn't carry herself as super pretty or anything like that. This is one that is pretty casual in appearance. She is one that has the back that can get attention. And this is a woman that you feel like you can really get along with. So this is one that listens to everything that you have to say, and she basically entertains you in every way that is possible. And so you two hit it off. So you find that you have no problem sharing your feelings and your thoughts. You two go out on the town pretty often, so you go out to eat and you go to the aquarium and you even go shopping together, and everything at home seems to be great. Y'all watch movies together and y'all do the things that normal couples do. She works and she's a hard working woman, and you don't really have to tell her much, and everything appears to be working out well between you two. So you've been together for about 2 months. Now, when you met this person and you were trying to get to understand her background, you understand that she has been in a variety of relationships that did not work out. And she informed you that she tried to do everything on her part to make everything work, but for some reason, the guy just wasn't committed, that he somehow was cheating on her and didn't really want to be forthcoming about some of the relationships that her previous boyfriends were in. So you listening to all of this, you assured her that you would not be like the other guys. So you are basically putting your best foot forward and trying to show her what a real man is, and that you can be trusted. And basically you two are hitting it off. You've been taking care of all of her needs, buying her clothes, making sure that you're getting her hair done. Everything that she needs, you've been taking care of. So a few weeks go by and you two are having normal conversation, and you notice that she's been sneaking in smart remarks at certain times, that you're trying to give her some advice. You're trying to basically put up on game on how to do certain things differently when it comes to presenting herself, or maybe the way that her conversation is toward you. You're trying to give us some tips on basically how to say certain things to not come off so harsh. And she has been being kind of snappy and saying some smart stuff under her breath, and you've been letting her get away with it because you believe that she is in some type of learning phase. Now, as a few more weeks go by, you notice that the behavior with the smart comments starts to become more and more prevalent. So one day, you two are in the car and you are just coming from the local convenience store, and you two have just bought a Slurpee. It's a warm day. You decided to go out and treat you two to some nice cold Slurpees. So you're in the car, you're driving, she's in the passenger seat, and she's kind of facing you while you're driving, and you are basically correcting her on some comments that she had made earlier in the day. So you wanted to kind of give her a quick understanding of that you did not appreciate the way that she was coming at you. And you were basically letting her know that it was unappreciated and that she should have approached you a certain way. And she was looking at you upside your head. And out of nowhere, she throws the Slurpee right at your head while you're driving. Now, how many of you men had to deal with this? A woman who flipped out on you when you were trying to give them some advice. This is one of those situations where you really have to vet out who you're with. You have to allow yourself time to get to know this person and their background. You have to ask a lot of questions and not necessarily take what they're saying for face value. Now, number 6 is mass texter. So this is a woman. You may have run across one of these at one point in your life that could be a very nice looking woman. So the nicer looking they are, the more that you feel that you can trust them because they don't have a reason to really do anything that could really rub you the wrong way. It's very surprising how us as men, we let down our guards when it comes to a nice looking woman. Some of the things that you know you should not do, we do. But when things go south, this is the type of woman that has access to your phone, and she has your PIN number, and she has been in your phone before, maybe looking at some pictures or pretending to make a phone call for whatever reason. And this is the one that either contacts all of the women without you knowing in your phone to try to see if any one of them is one of your side pieces, or this is one maybe you have gotten on her nerves or something like that. This is what she believes, and she is sending a mass text to all of the people in your phone, letting them know how much of a no good person you are and how you are cheap or how you are lousy or how you don't know how to take care of a woman and that she wish she was never with you. This is the one that gets in your phone and just lets everybody know things that are untrue or trying to ruin your reputation by putting some lies or something inside of a text and send it out to all of your contacts. Doesn't matter who's in your phone. You can have some job contacts, professional references in your phone, and she sends a mass text message out to everybody, just sending negative information or even maybe some lewd pictures. Now, number 5, in the 7 signs that you missed your exit, daddy downplay. So a lot of men who are up in age enjoy having a younger woman. Now, there may not be anything wrong with this. Besides, who wouldn't want someone who is younger, that are in their youth, that are legal, that may be in their prime, and so they have a lot ahead of them and a lot going for them. They may be looking very nice and can move very fast and has a lot of experience when it comes to a lot of different things. But also, one of the things that is not considered is maturity. And so when you're getting with a woman who is not mature, it can lead to a lot of issues. And so a lot of times you can find yourself as a man when you're dating a younger woman, and younger meaning this woman may be 10, maybe 12 years younger than you are. A lot of times you can find yourself providing advice or trying to give some type of direction to this person. Maybe this is a woman that finds that it's hard to navigate life and haven't learned some life lessons. And so, by you having wisdom and has experienced a number of things throughout the years, there's some direction that you can provide for her. So, you may find that you have a woman and she's younger than you are, and you've been with her for a few months and you've been getting along. Maybe this is one where she has a nice smile and she has a nice shape and everything is on point. She takes care of all of your needs. She's always around helping you. She talks to you on the phone, so she's in constant communication with you. But she just finds it hard to make the right decisions at times, so she just needs some guidance. So this is a woman who has a very nice demeanor. So one day you're trying to give her some advice on a decision that she made that cost her, and you're trying to basically tell her what she did wrong and what she should have done to correct the issue. And suddenly she just snaps on you and says, "You not my daddy." Now, I don't know, I haven't been in this situation, but maybe you have a woman that you're trying to help out who is much younger than you are, who suddenly snaps on you and says that you not my daddy. This may be a prime sign that you have missed your exit with this person, because usually when something about daddy is mentioned, this is a clear indicator that this person is not mature or may have had some issues in the past when it comes to parenting with our own parents, or she could be going through some type of neglect issues or some type of abuse issues in some sort of a past relationship or something like that. And if so, it's just a matter of time before these issues and problems start to develop with you. Number 4, citywide recognition. Now, if you're living out in a big city, and the thing about the big city, when you're in the heart of the city, you tend to run into people you know. This includes people maybe from high school or college that you run into. Maybe you're on the train or the city bus, or maybe you drove downtown and you parked and you got out and you happen to see someone that you know from your neighborhood in passing. And so, you can't help but to run into people who you're familiar with. Now, with this woman that you've just met, let's say you've been dating her for about 3 weeks. And so this woman, she's not that good looking, but she's all right, you know, and the body is not really where you would like for it to be, but she has a great attitude. So this is a woman that she's all right, but because her attitude, you can kind of not really put too much emphasis on looks because the attitude makes up for it. So this is a woman that you've gotten to know, and you may have just got out of a relationship that was horrible. So you've met this woman and her attitude is what piqued your interest. And so you've gotten to know her. It's been a few weeks. You guys have went out and you've done the dating thing and you've had sex with her, and you've done everything pretty much that you could expect maybe from someone who is just trying to get them as much fun as you can. And you're the type of man that you're easy to fall in love. So as soon as you have sex, you start having feelings and all of that, regardless of how your last relationship ended. So you're a city guy, so you always like to go downtown and you like to visit different shops and things like that. And you like to, go around the neighborhood. But you noticed within the first 6 weeks of you dating and having relations with this woman that every time you go out, there always seems to be a guy that is either looking kind of strangely at your woman or waving at your woman. This is something you've taken note of. So when you were downtown and you were in a shop, there was some guy that was also in the shop that spoke to your woman. And so, you didn't pay it any mind. So now you're back in your neighborhood and you're at the local grocery store and you're in there shopping, just getting some clothing that you need or some bedding that you need for the house. And while you're in there shopping, another guy passes by and waves at your woman. So you kind of thinking, well, maybe, maybe she's kind of famous. Maybe she just knows a lot of people. So you paid no mind. So then you're at the movies. And so you're at the movies and you're in the movies, you come out and you're coming out to buy, just a bucket of popcorn so you can head back in the movies. And while you're out with your girl, just grabbing a quick bucket of popcorn, uh, there's a guy that's in the line right next to you that's speaking to your woman. And so she's speaking back to him. And then so you're looking at her and she's looking back at you and she's like, oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, he used to, that was an old boyfriend of mine. So now you kind of scratching your head because, this is like the third or fourth incident where your woman has run into another guy that she knows. So, it's kind of not sitting right in the back of your head, but at the same time, you kind of blow it off. You're like, well, it's a lot of people in the city, and she may just be well known. So then, about a week later, you're walking down the street, and somebody is driving right next to you and blowing the horn. And these are a couple of guys inside the car playing some loud music. And so they blow the horn and they yell a name. So now you're like, okay, what's really going on? So now you found out about a month or two later that your girl was basically getting around the city and all the guys know her because everybody has had a piece of your girl. So this is a big indicator when your woman knows too many guys and not enough girls. This is a big indicator that you have missed your exit because this can only make you look bad. Again, this comes down to not asking enough questions and not putting enough time in between getting to know this person and getting to know their background and maybe what they're into and who they're connected with. This could look bad for you because other men may feel that you are perfectly okay with being with someone who gets around and that you may be okay with them pushing up on your woman because they're gonna think that you have already vetted this woman out. So you have to give enough time to be able to find out who it is that you're with, even do a quick background check to find out what they're into, because all of this could tarnish your image, and depending on how long you've been with this person could take you for granted, and who knows what could be going on behind your back. Now, number three, backup handyman. So you may be a guy who has moved in with a woman, don't know what your situation is. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you enjoyed living with women. Maybe you are insecure and can't live without a woman. Maybe the woman is making a lot of money and has encouraged you to move in with her so she can buy everything for you. Maybe you have moved in because it makes good sense for you and that you can combine incomes. Well, whatever the reason is, you've moved in with this woman, and in the beginning, everything appears great. Like always, the woman is treating you nice. Y'all are having a great time. Y'all get along. You even know her parents. You've gotten along with sisters. Maybe she has a brother that appreciates who you are. But you may be a man who's experienced a woman who wants you to attend all of her events. So this is a woman who has invited you to go to a baby shower. So you show up to the baby shower and you're thinking because you're showing up and you're there for her that you're going to get some type of special treatment or something later, or she's going to give you special access to her body or something like that. So you are giving in to all of her demands, and she's requested that you attend her events. So you've made it to the baby shower. So you at the baby shower, there's other women around and they're there laughing and playing all of the baby shower games, maybe singing some songs and things like that, handing out gifts. And they have you at the baby shower, maybe operating the equipment or maybe throwing away the gift wrap or something like that. Or it could be some other event where there's a lot of ladies attending. Maybe they're selling some type of product or something like that, and you show up and they got you operating the lighting and working the sound system or something like that. They just using you up as like the maintenance man or something like that. So I don't know if a lot of you have been in this situation where you're trying to cater to a woman's needs in the hopes of getting some type of reward later, and you're being used to do something for them or something like that, and in the end there's nothing there for you. So a lot of guys get used up like this, thinking that they can get something out of a woman instead of using their intellect or leading and putting yourself in the proper position to have a woman respect you and not have her use you for things that she needs. And then once she's done with you, she dumps you, or maybe she leaves you for someone else. So you want to make sure that you're not in this situation, and make sure that you're investing in yourself and standing on your own 2 feet, and not putting yourself in compromising situations in order to get something that really could come your way if you were to just do it the way that it should be done as far as being a leader. Number two, releasing some steam. So I'm sure that most men have been in a situation at some point where you are living with a woman, or maybe you have a woman over often, and this is a woman that, all women are emotional pretty much, and it depends on what's being said or what's being done at the time to bring that emotion out of them. And this could be a situation where you're having a heated conversation at home, and say it's early in the morning where you're still in bed. And usually men, we like to be in bed. Maybe we have our boxers on and maybe a muscle shirt or maybe no shirt. So you're exposed, your skin is exposed, and the woman may be standing up ironing or something, and you done said something to piss her off, and so she's upset with you. Or this could be a situation where uh, you had your cousin or something call you, and this was a female, but she can only hear a female voice, and she thought that maybe you had a side piece or something calling you up, and so she's ironing right next to you. She has the ironing board out next to the bed, and maybe you done said something that you wasn't supposed to say, or maybe you called her by a name that wasn't hers or something like that. And now she takes the iron and puts it close to you, and the steam is just all on your skin, dang near burning you up. You ever had a woman like that put you in a precarious situation that could potentially harm you because you done said something, or something was done, or maybe there was something found in your phone, a picture or something, and now she is got you in a position with something in her hand that is very dangerous, and now she's making you apologize or something like that, and you find that you have no choice but to comply. You ever been in that situation? So any woman that is putting your life in danger, or maybe putting you in a situation where you can be harmed, regardless of what happened, you need to assess this situation properly and make sure that you find the next exit immediately. And number one of the 7 signs that you missed your exit: hood helpings. So this is one that I know a lot of men, it doesn't matter your race, a lot of men have been involved in and continue to involve themselves in, is when you meet a woman and the body is on point, but the woman has a loud mouth, or has uh, a personality that is very obnoxious. So this is one that lives in possibly a low income neighborhood. So this is a situation where you are just so fixed on the body and getting the sex that you're willing to go to any lengths to get the goods. So this may be one where you basically going to a war zone to get the goods. So you have to basically scope out and map out the area of which she lives. And when you go over, you have to park your car a certain way so you can have quick access to get in and out in case anything jumps off. You know what I'm talking about. When you go into the rough side of town, you have to be strategic with every move that you make. So you have to park your car where you can see it. You have to make sure that you park close to the house, or if it's an apartment complex, you have to make sure that it's close to the breezeway. So when you go up to this woman's house and you go in, you go in and you're looking around, you're trying to make sure that everything looks safe. You are trying to see if you have a direct line of sight from the living room window to your car. And you're up there feeling uneasy, but you're looking at all the goods, and you're foaming at the mouth because this is something that you've been waiting for, and you can't wait to get the goods. There's a lot of men out there know exactly what I'm talking about women who are living in these type of areas and the type of sex that they can deliver and all the things that they can do for you based on the type of lifestyle that they are into. So this may be a woman who can do 2 or 3 things at one time to you. This is the one that can keep you coming back for more every night. And because she lives in the rough part of town, you're willing to take that risk. And this is one where maybe one night you went over her house and you got in the bed and you're doing your thing and you're laid up talking and it's about 11 p.m. and all of a sudden you heard some commotion outside. So you went and you took a look out the window and there was a group of guys that was out there fighting right next to your car. So now you was intending on leaving, but now you can't go down to your car because now some stuff done jumped off. So now you're trying to wait until everything goes away. And then suddenly you heard some gunshots and now the police done showed up. So now they got the area close to your car blocked off. I know somebody has been in a situation like this at least once in your life where you took a risk to go and get the treasure and things almost turned out bad for you. You really have to vet women and their image and the people and the connections that they have, because this has a great impact. There has been a lot of people who have lost their lives, a lot of men who have lost their lives basically risking for sex and favors and and just for recognition, for being with certain types of women. There have been a lot of men who has lost their freedom due to certain lifestyles that are being lived and living loose and putting their families in jeopardy to try to go over and enjoy themselves for just a few minutes, not vetting who they're dealing with. There have been guys who have been robbed and had things stolen from them, been drugged, and all sorts of things that have went down for lust and and other things. So it's very important as a man that you are doing things the right way, living your life to where you don't have to look over your shoulder, making sure that you have yourself together. And if you have yourself together, or if you choose to go and involve yourself with a woman, make sure you do your homework on her. Make sure that you're leading by example, and make sure you're doing everything to put yourself in a position of happiness. I thank you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.